Everyone envied me for being kept by my wealthy girlfriend, but no one saw that her phone wallpaper was her first love. Qinghan's first love was a proud young heir. To cultivate a sweet, harmless boy-next-door image, he insisted on calling me a poor student, his brother. When I felt ashamed because I could not afford tuition, he dragged me before Qinghan and declared dramatically, "Chuan works so hard. If you sponsor him, I will agree to be your boyfriend." After hearing that, Qinghan, the usually aloof campus beauty, looked up at me. She snapped her fingers. Deal. From then on, I became their lackey. Everyone said, for Chuan to have such a kind brother as Hui, he must be unbelievably lucky. I nodded in agreement. Though Hui often beat me in private, I was still grateful. His words had changed my fate. Thanks to the two of them, I joined a Fortune 500 company after graduation. Within 3 years, I became an executive. Later, Hui and Qinghan broke up after a bitter fight. Hui went abroad. Out of spite, Qinghan started dating me. She met all my material needs. Whenever my stomach hurt, she would frown and rub my stomach for me. But when Hui returned, Qinghan was lost in thought for a long time. The first thing she said was, "Chuan, let's break up." Not a trace of surprise crossed my face. Instead, I nodded in relief. Okay. Qinghan's attention was fixed on her phone. Her eyes were glued to a post Hui had made half an hour ago. After 3 years, I am back. Below it was a selfie on a bridge in the city center. His handsome face was framed by a white suit. Among any crowd, he was destined to stand out. An unreadable emotion flickered in Qinghan's eyes. Her slender, knuckled hand gripped the phone tightly. I knew her body had gone tense. After all our years together, no one knew better than I did. Qinghan had never let go of Hui. Seeing me silently pack my luggage, Qinghan suddenly interrupted me. Back then, I was immature. I was hot-headed. And I fought with Hui. That was why he left the country in anger. I have regretted it all these years. She looked at me with cold eyes, as though she were seeing someone else through me. I nodded. I know. To ease the awkwardness, I added, I think Hui has not let you go either. That is why he came back. I hope you to get back together. That is not what I meant to say. Qinghan frowned slightly and cut me off again. I plan to confess to Hui again. Do not let him know we used to date. He is obsessive about purity. He would mind. As she said this, there was a flicker of guilt in her eyes, but not much. I lowered my head and gave a bitter smile. I understood. 3 years ago, Hui and Qinghan fought over his plans to go abroad. They fought so bitterly that neither would back down. Qinghan wanted Hui to stay in the country, where she could always keep him in sight. But Hui felt she was restricting his freedom. He insisted on breaking up and leaving the country. Even I, who tried to mediate, thought it was just an ordinary argument. I never imagined they both meant it. 2 months after Hui went abroad, he quickly married a beautiful, wealthy woman of Chinese descent. After hearing the news at a class reunion, Qinghan drank herself senseless. Then, drunk, she pinned me against a wall and kissed me possessively. Chuan, date me. Her kiss was like a spell, leaving my whole body weak. I fell for her, and there was no room left to refuse. But when Qinghan sobered up, she slapped herself in regret. Chuan, I am sorry. Last night, I mistook you for someone else. In that instant, all my joy turned cold. Who that someone was went without saying. I forced a smile and nodded. I know you were drunk last night. Let us pretend nothing happened. You do not have to take responsibility for me. But Qinghan was impossibly stubborn. I avoided her for an entire week. Then, a week later, she cornered me outside the office building. With a serious look, she said, I've made up my mind. Be my boyfriend. Hui has already married someone else. I will forget the past and start over, too. And you know, I have never disliked you all these years. At the time, I thought my old secret crush would finally no longer need to be hidden, that it could become open affection. But I was wrong. Not disliking someone and loving them are worlds apart. Now, I have long since let it go. After dating Qinghan, she drank for me at social events, bought me luxury goods, and had cars pick me up and drive me around. But I knew I was enjoying all of it in someone else's place. Now Hui was back, and it was time to give it all back to him. Qinghan bought this villa. I lived here with her for 3 years. Here, Qinghan and I would revel all night without tiring. We danced the same waltz and kissed with reckless, overwhelming passion. To celebrate my promotion, she personally baked me an enormous strawberry cake. I also lay on this familiar sofa, my head in Qinghan's lap, laughing and talking with her. We once seemed more like a normal couple than anyone else, but I had always known that invisible barrier had always been there. It had never disappeared. Fortunately, it was all about to end. At that moment, I was busy erasing every trace that I had been here. The long hair on the bedding, the suits and ties in the bathroom, the men's cologne on the vanity, everything connected to me went either into my suitcase or into the trash. Fortunately, I worked quickly. Qinghan was pleased. Chuan, Here is a bank card with 1 million on it. Find yourself somewhere else to live. I shook my head and did not take it. I will disappear from your world. Qinghan froze. Her gaze toward me grew more complicated, but I had no desire to figure out what she was feeling. I grabbed my suitcase, turned, and left. But I never expected the world to be so full of coincidences. The moment I stepped out of the villa with my suitcase, I ran into Huwei. After 3 years apart, life abroad had made him even more mature and stylish. His beautiful eyes stared at me in shock. Chuan, what are you doing here? My mind went blank. I had no idea how to respond. But Qinghan came out before I could speak. Huwei, he came to deliver some documents. Huwei frowned, his eyes falling on my suitcase. Do you need a suitcase to deliver documents? His eyes instantly reddened. He stubbornly scrutinized Qinghan. While I was abroad, I heard that you and Chuan were together. That cannot be true, can it? A cold, oppressive air surrounded Huwei. He looked ready to angrily turn and leave at any moment. Everyone in their circle knew about his obsession with purity. Everyone knew young master who only dated innocent women. He even considered women who had held a man's hand dirty. If he discovered even the slightest clue, and it ruined Qinghan's plans, Qinghan would never let me off. Thinking quickly, I hurriedly said, "Young master who? You misunderstand. I just got back from a business trip. President Gu had her secretary bring my suitcase back for me. The secretary is on leave today, so I came over to pick it up myself. President Gu and I are only boss and employee." Exactly. How could that be possible? Qinghan became anxious, then turned and glared at me. "Chuan, why are you still standing there? Get out." I nodded and wisely prepared to leave. "Stop." Huwei immediately spotted the love bite on my neck. His voice was edged with jealousy and mockery. "Chuan, when did you get a girlfriend? Why have you not brought her for me to see? What? Now that you have made something of yourself and become a little manager at your company, you no longer care about this brother of yours?" I shook my head. "Of course not." Qinghan watched me nervously, afraid I might say something that exposed us. I gave a bitter smile, looked up, and said seriously, "I got drunk at a company dinner last night. You know, I have not had a girlfriend all these years, so sometimes I go to private clubs and places like that." I touched the red mark on my neck. "As for this, you understand." Qinghan nearly choked on her saliva. She glanced at me from beneath lowered lids. Some of the suspicion in Huwei's eyes faded, though he still watched me doubtfully. Really, Huwei suddenly became interested. "Which club? Recommend it to me sometime. Your standards are so high. I did not expect there would be a girl you actually liked. I have to go patronize the place someday." I randomly took a screenshot of a business card, changing the subject to brush him off. Just as I was finally about to find a chance to leave, Huwei grabbed my hand. He said meaningfully, "Chuan, since you are here, do not be a stranger. Come in and sit for a while." Qinghan gazed at him with tender eyes. "Huwei, I have kept this villa all this time because you once said you liked this location and wanted it for our marital home. I knew you had not forgotten me and that you would come back." Huwei looked a little aggrieved. Sincerity and guilt filled his eyes. "I am sorry. My temper was awful back then. I did not know how to give in, and that is why I lost you for 3 whole years. I regret it now. You do not mind that I have been married, do you?" "I do not mind." Qinghan hurriedly shook her head, her face full of devotion. "I know you only did it out of spite, too. Only a few months ago did I see the letter you wrote to me. Then I understood how you felt." Huwei's eyes flickered evasively. Then he smiled, rubbed his stomach, and said, "I am hungry." Qinghan immediately got up eagerly and went to get all kinds of food from the refrigerator. But Huwei rejected every single option. Smiling, he looked up at me. "Chuan, I remember your longevity noodles were delicious. Since you are here anyway, I have not had them in 3 years. Why not make me another bowl?" At his words, I froze where I stood. I remembered our days at school. That group of rich young masters had grown tired of cake. Somehow, they heard that people ate longevity noodles for their birthdays. They insisted on making me learn to cook them. I skipped several classes, arrived late to 2 exams, and failed countless times. Finally, on his birthday, I made them a bowl of longevity noodles they were satisfied with. But after one bite, Huwei curled his lip in disgust. "It just tastes like noodles. It is awful." After saying that, Huwei took that bowl of noodles along with the soup and all, and dumped it over my head. I was utterly humiliated, my face scalded bright red. But Huwei smiled with satisfaction. "Chuan, now you know your place, right?" He looked down at me coldly. "You are just a servant I can order around. You should put away those improper thoughts. Do not think I do not know you are secretly in love with Qinghan too. Do you really think a poor nobody like you deserves her? Even if Qinghan wants a boyfriend or gets married someday, she will only choose a young master like me from a family that matches hers." Back then, even after being bullied like that, I could only obediently nod. "I understand. Young master who, you misunderstand. I never had such thoughts, nor did I ever intend to compete with you for anything. Now, I stood frozen in place. Once I came to my senses, I spoke calmly. There is an urgent matter at the company. I am afraid I cannot make longevity noodles right now. I need to handle it. Hu Wei's smile instantly turned cold. What did you say? I could not help but shudder. Whenever he wore that chilling smile, I always suffered for it. Before I could speak, Qinghan spoke first. What are you waiting for? The kitchen is over there. A little over 10 minutes later, I came out carrying a bowl of longevity noodles. Hu Wei eagerly rose to take it, but the moment he took it, he let go. The bowl of noodles and broth crashed to the floor. Scalding broth splashed all over me. Within moments, my arms and legs were red and swollen. I am sorry. It is my fault. I did not hold it properly. Hu Wei looked guilty and remorseful, but deliberately exposed his slightly reddened arm. Qinghan's expression immediately changed. She rushed over. Then she turned and shot me a cold look. You cannot do anything right. Get out. I endured the searing pain on my skin and nodded calmly. I am sorry. I grabbed my suitcase and fled in humiliation. I temporarily stayed at a hotel near the company. For the next several days, I was busy looking for a place to live. The next time I saw Qinghan was 3 days later. After the morning meeting, she looked in my direction. Chuan, stay behind. The co-workers around us exchanged looks. It was not as if I failed to notice their mocking stares. I also heard them gossiping in the break room. Now that President Gu's first love is back, certain people will not have it easy anymore. Some nobodies think they have risen above their station. But how could they become an executive in just a few years? I hear he studied abroad. The highly educated young master of the Hu family. Can certain people compare to that? I kept a calm face and pretended not to hear. After all, I had heard far worse things back then. I had heard them countless times and was long numb to them. As long as I did not care, they could not hurt me. But I never expected Qinghan to keep me behind in the meeting room. She stood and coldly instructed me. Hu Wei is not so easily fooled. Do not come see me for a while. Besides, since you already lied, you need to make your story add up. Quickly. Find a girlfriend as soon as possible. I nodded calmly. Yes, President Gu. At my form of address, her expression changed. Qinghan frowned slightly without thinking. As I turned away, she grabbed my arm again. She explained, and about that day. Hu Wei did not do that with the longevity noodles on purpose. He had just returned from abroad and saw the two of us together. He was just jealous and throwing a little tantrum. I smiled faintly. So she had always known about those petty schemes. Qinghan had known all along. Even when Hu Wei called me his brother on the surface, he deliberately dragged me along to drink in his place. When we met thugs, he used me as a human shield and pushed me out to be beaten. Qinghan must have known it all, deep down. Without revealing anything, I avoided her touch. I nodded. It is fine. I understand. Chuan, do you blame me? Qinghan suddenly asked me seriously. I still shook my head. Then I answered her just as seriously. No. I have always been grateful to both of you, regardless of whether Hu Wei's motives were impure. It was because of something he said to build his image back then that I received Qinghan's financial support. I will never forget that kindness. No one could understand how difficult my life was then. My father was in a car accident. He lay in a hospital bed in a vegetative state. My mother had remarried long ago and did not care whether I lived or died. I earned living expenses by collecting plastic bottles and selling scrap. If not for Hu Wei's words, I could not have held on much longer before dropping out. So I had to repay that debt of gratitude. But even a debt of gratitude can be fully repaid. I will not live in someone else's shadow forever. After leaving the office, I took a deep breath. Then I called someone I had not spoken to in a long time. Are you free tomorrow? Would you like to have dinner with me? Ruyan was surprised when she received my call. After all, she had started pursuing me 3 years ago, but I rejected her, saying my career came first. At the time, she said she was willing to wait for me, but before I could establish myself, I began dating Qinghan. From then on, Ruyan kept an appropriate distance. Whenever Qinghan and I attended an event, she quietly sat off to one side, but I knew her gaze would always settle on me. Sure enough, Ruyan agreed to dinner after only a few words. At the restaurant, she sat across from me. Her chopsticks lay untouched. She looked at me earnestly. I heard you two broke up. Yes, I smiled. I am single again now. Would you like to date me? Ruyan stared at me for several seconds, then gave a soft scoff. Now it is my turn to consider it. I nodded, feeling relieved. Then take your time. I will wait. If I truly needed to find a girlfriend, then Ruyan might be a good choice. But it all had to be based on her willingness. I had plenty of time to wait for her decision. Soon, it was time for our class reunion. I had planned to pretend I was ill and not attend. But Hu Wei would not let me off. Chuan, back at school, we were an inseparable trio. The reunion is so lively today. How could we possibly not have you? I could not help smiling bitterly. An inseparable trio, he said. In truth, I was only their tag-along. I was merely the foil that made Hu Wei shine. Whenever our classmates saw me, they would think of how kind-hearted Hu Wei was. Though I repeatedly refused, Hu Wei still dragged me there. During the reunion, we played Truth or Dare. When it landed on me, Hu Wei suddenly became excited. He asked, Chuan, have you slept with any of the women here? Everyone froze at the question. They all looked at me with sympathy. Others were delighted by my misfortune and ready for a show. Their eyes shifted between Qinghan and me. Qinghan and I had been together for 3 years. No matter how discreet we had been, or how tightly kept it hidden, someone had surely heard rumors. Qinghan frowned. Hu Wei. But Hu Wei shook off her hand. His gaze bore straight into my face. Say it, Chuan. Have you or not? Everyone could see it. Hu Wei was clearly trying to humiliate me. No matter how I answered, it would be wrong. I calmly raised my glass. I forfeit. If you want a drink, then drink these. Hu Wei sneered and stopped me. He poured 3 glasses in a row and set them before me. You have to finish them all. I nodded and reached to drain them. Qinghan suddenly frowned and stopped me. Chuan, you cannot drink. Have you forgotten? Jealousy flashed in Hu Wei's eyes. How do you know he cannot drink? Even I froze mid-motion. Of course, Qinghan knew. 2 years ago, I drank at business dinners to secure an order worth tens of millions. I drank until I suffered a stomach perforation and was hospitalized. When Qinghan rushed to the hospital, her eyes were red with panic. Chuan, you fool. What does it matter if you could not get that order? It is not like I need that money. Why would you wreck your body like this? She stayed by my bedside for a full day and night without sleeping at all. After that, whenever alcohol was involved, she was always the first to stop me. By now, it had become a reflex. Realizing something was wrong, Qinghan withdrew her hand and explained. Last time, Chuan ruined his stomach drinking for business. He cannot drink. She pushed the glasses farther away. Let us play something else. But Hu Wei dug in. I insist on playing this one. He could tell Qinghan wanted to drink in my place. He clearly would not stop until he had gotten me drunk. With a bitter smile, I took the 3 glasses and drained every last one. I thought Hu Wei would let me go after that, but instead he mocked me in a sarcastic tone. Chuan, you are still just like you were in school, always pretending to be some innocent little bunny. Qinghan frowned. Her voice turned cold. Hu Wei, you are drunk. I am not drunk. Hu Wei suddenly raised his voice. He threw an arm around my shoulders and addressed everyone. You all know, Chuan was my best brother back in school. I came back this time to be with Qinghan, but my best brother is still all alone. How pitiful is that? Besides, Chuan has suffered his whole life. He has never known the pleasures of women. So, who is going to make him feel good tonight? Everyone knew Hu Wei had gone too far, but no one dared step up and offend young Master Hu. Young Master Hu, I have ruined your fun. How about I punish myself with 10 drinks? As I spoke, I stepped forward. I filled every empty glass in front of me. Then I drank them down, one after another. Qinghan's frown deepened. Everyone else was stunned as well. Their mockery turned to admiration. He really is as relentless as they say. Chuan's drinking capacity is truly impressive. The fiery liquor scorched my throat. I coughed a few times, but kept drinking. Through the haze, I seemed to hear Qinghan say, if you cannot hold your liquor, stop torturing yourself. I could not tell whether they were tears or liquor, blurring my vision. When I raised my head, Qinghan was still seated beside me. Qinghan watched me with furrowed brows. She was just about to stop me, when a voice suddenly came from behind me. I will drink for you. The glass in my hand was snatched away. I looked up. It was Ruyan. Ruyan came to my rescue and drained all 10 glasses. Then, before everyone's eyes, she carried me away. Hu Wei shouted furiously. Ruyan, stop right there. Enough. Stop making a scene. Qinghan had lost her patience too. That night, Ruyan carried me back. Where do you live? Ruyan asked in her soft, pleasant voice. In my days, I answered, giving her the hotel name and my room number. Ruyan, have you decided? Will you be my girlfriend? My whole body felt burning hot. I was about to tear off my clothes when Ruyan caught my hands behind my back. Ruyan's breathing gradually grew heavier. You are killing me. Chuan, I must have owed you in a past life. She suddenly bent down and cupped my face. Then her possessive kiss fell on my lips. I struggled and pushed her away. You have not answered me yet. Will you? Yes, I will be your girlfriend. Chuan, Ruyan said hoarsely. Her fierce, passionate kisses rained down across my neck. We lost ourselves in each other at the hotel all night. The next day, I even forgot to call in sick. Qinghan searched everywhere for me. She called me like a madwoman. Chuan, why are you not answering your phone? Are you dead? Still limp after my own little death. I lay weakly beside Ruyan. Ruyan kissed my cheek, took the phone, and spoke for me. My boyfriend is asleep. Whatever it is, tell me. Qinghan went completely rigid. Her voice was full of disbelief. Are you two together? At that question, her voice rose higher and higher. It was laced with agitation and fury. I know you helped Chuan out yesterday. I thank you on his behalf. But do not joke around. Ruyan did not move an inch. She merely gave a cold laugh. Thank me on his behalf? Gu Qinghan. What right do you have to thank me for him? Ryan's fingers traced circles over my ABS. As far as I know, you and Li Chuan broke up long ago. Were you not planning to confess to your young master who? How is that going? Gu Qinghan was instantly furious. She had originally planned, after the reunion, to take Hu Wei to the confession she had prepared. It was meant to be a grand, romantic declaration. The timing had been perfect. Hu Wei might even have accepted her proposal, but she never expected him to cause such a scene at the reunion. His cruel, aggressive manner made Gu Qinghan see that her former first love idol was not the man she thought he was. It also changed her plans to confess. At that moment, she was deeply frustrated. Gu Qinghan shouted in exasperation, "Where is Li Chuan? Put him on the phone right now." She had stood in the cold wind all night. Last night, she had fallen out with Hu Wei, questioning why he had behaved that way at the reunion, and why he had humiliated Li Chuan. Hu Wei had a huge fight with her, then stormed off. For the first time, she had not taken the initiative to chase after him. Gu Qinghan had called anxiously, afraid something had happened to Li Chuan. She never imagined I had already accepted another woman's embrace. I woke when I heard the commotion. Is that Gu Qinghan calling? Ryan nodded. Then she handed me the phone and went out onto the balcony. I knew she wanted to give me space to handle personal matters, but now that she had agreed to be my girlfriend, I would hide nothing from her. Hello, this is Li Chuan. I spoke calmly, rubbing my temples. I drank too much yesterday, and my head still hurts. Gu Qinghan's voice soon came through the phone. Chuan, where are you now? I am coming to see you. Gu Qinghan sounded very anxious. I stopped her. There is no need. Do not let young master Hu see you. Otherwise, it may cause a misunderstanding. Gu Qinghan hesitated. Li Chuan, I have changed my mind. I am not going to confess to him. Over the past 3 years, I have realized Hu Wei is nothing like I remembered. He still has the same face, but standing before me, he feels like a stranger. I stood in the howling wind all night, thinking about one question. What did I ever like about Hu Wei? Gu Qinghan's voice was conflicted and pained. She seemed like a completely different person from the woman who had once loved him so deeply. But I would no longer be her emotional strategist and advisor. I replied calmly, Gu Qinghan, whatever you decide. That is your business. I am only an employee. It is not my place to interfere. If there is nothing else, I will hang up now. As I said this, my mind was actually elsewhere. My gaze remained fixed on Ryan in the room. She wore a long, spaghetti-strap dress. It made her figure look soft and elegant. She was tall and captivating, too. She had even gone to the kitchen to make me a bowl of hangover soup. When she saw me hang up, a gentle smile touched her lips. You went way overboard playing the daredevil yesterday. Your head hurts today, right? Here, drink this. I froze for a moment, then accepted it. But I could not stop my eyes from reddening. Ryan immediately crouched down in alarm. She held me. What is wrong? Did I speak too harshly? I am sorry, she said. I shook my head. I am just touched. I just never expected my girlfriend to treat me so well. I have truly hit the jackpot. Ryan burst out laughing. That silver tongue of yours. No wonder even someone as cold-hearted as Gu Qinghan could be wrapped around your finger. As she spoke, she noticed my expression change. She immediately changed the subject and clasped my hand in hers. But from now on, you are mine, and I am happy to let you sweet-talk me into circles. After Ryan and I got together, I moved into her villa. She would not let me stay alone in a hotel anymore. Every day when I came home from work, there was always a hot, freshly made meal waiting for me. In the 3 years I was with Gu Qinghan, I had never known such warmth. I suddenly began to crave that feeling. After recovering for a week, I returned to the company. I heard Gu Qinghan had been frantic trying to find me that week. I did not answer her calls or reply to her messages. She even neglected her previous partnerships. Gu Qinghan threw a massive tantrum in the conference room. She smashed those limited edition teacups to pieces. My colleagues told me all about it. My face was calmer than ever. Their words echoed in my ears. I took the documents from my bag and was about to deliver them to Gu Qinghan when Hu Wei blocked my path. With a sneer, he forced me into the break room. He smashed a cup, then grabbed my hair and made me pick up the shards. I did not resist. I did as he told me. Li Chuan, you still dared to give me attitude at the reunion. Believe me, I can make sure you lose your job. Hu Wei stomped hard on my hand and pressed down. Do not forget that you are just some brat from the slums. Without me, Gu Qinghan would never have paid for your education. I am the one you owe. I gave a bitter laugh and asked young Master Hu, did you not marry another woman during those 3 years abroad? Gu Qinghan is single. What is wrong with her dating whoever she wants? Besides, before I could finish, Hu Wei grabbed a vase and smashed it into my head. Before I passed out, I heard a woman cry out. It sounded like Gu Qinghan. When I woke again, I was lying in a hospital bed. Only Ryan was beside me. You little fool. How did you get hurt again? Her face was full of heartache. I looked around. Who brought me here? Your colleague. They said you passed out from low blood sugar and hit your head. Liu Ryan seemed unaware of the truth. I gave a helpless, bitter smile. That explanation must have been Gu Qinghan's instruction. I took out my resignation letter and gave it to Liu Ryan. You and Gu Qinghan are good friends. Please give this to her from me. Liu Ryan paused. Are you really leaving? You have been here for 3 years. I thought this place meant something to you. I smiled and shook my head. I was only a workhorse, and now I have repaid my debt. Why keep suffering? After all this, I have finally seen my own heart clearly. I do not love Gu Qinghan. Over the following days, I recovered peacefully in the hospital. I did not have to constantly check my computer or deal with clients at dawn. There was only one small incident. Liu Ryan went to deliver my resignation letter. There, she overheard my colleagues talking. She learned the truth about my head injury. She could not stand it another second. She kicked open the office door and tore Gu Qinghan apart. Since you want to confess to Hu Wei, then keep your own man under control. Do not let him act like a rabid dog, biting anyone he finds. I heard she even caused chaos at a banquet Hu Wei hosted. Liu Ryan became famous for that one confrontation. Everyone knew she was Li Chuan's girlfriend, but it gave me a terrible headache. My relationship had been made public without my consent. Yesterday, Liu Ryan's parents heard about me, their daughter's boyfriend. They insisted on meeting me. They were quite pleased with me. They even asked us indirectly when we planned to get married. Liu Ryan finally changed the subject and covered for us. In the blink of an eye, half a month passed. Gu Qinghan called me several times. I answered none of them, then blocked and deleted her number. Liu Ryan said she had a company abroad, and it needed an executive. She wanted me to help. I knew she was considering my pride and my ambition when she said that. There were plenty of talented people overseas. How could she possibly be unable to find an executive? She only wanted to take me somewhere to clear my head. So she made up an excuse. Still, I agreed. I needed to say goodbye to the past and begin my own life. But the day before we left, I saw Gu Qinghan again. She looked completely different from her usual sharp, capable self. Her face was more weary and haggard. When she saw me, her face was full of guilt and pain. Li Chuan, why will you not answer my calls? She stood on the other side of the intersection, looking at me across the street. Then she suddenly rushed toward me. Her eyes were red. I am sorry. Chuan, I only understand my heart now. I regret it. I never loved Hu Wei. It was only an illusion. He was only an unresolved regret I could not forget. The person I have always loved is you. She said she regretted it. She said she missed the 3 years we spent together. She said that even when she woke from dreams, she instinctively called my name. But Chuan, you cannot be so cruel. You cannot leave me so cruelly. You are my boyfriend. I calmly pushed her hand away. Gu Qinghan, perhaps you have forgotten. When Hu Wei returned, you were the one who said we should break up. And I agreed. A few days ago, I also submitted my resignation. I am no longer an employee of your company. We have no relationship whatsoever. Gu Qinghan hesitated again. She still wanted to pull me back and say something. But then, Liu Ryan walked over. Let go of my boyfriend. I am taking him out for hot pot. She took my hand as though declaring her claim. Gu Qinghan's chest rose and fell violently with anger. She swung her fist at Liu Ryan's face. Liu Ryan, I thought you were my best friend. How could you steal my man like this? Steal your man? Liu Ryan easily dodged her punch. She gave a cold laugh. That is not quite an accurate description, is it? Is Hu Wei not the man you are trying to win back? I have no interest in a vicious, spoiled drama king like him. Li Chuan was your employee, and before I pursued him, you two had already broken up, so there is no question of stealing anyone's man. With that, Liu Ryan wrapped an arm around my waist. We left, while Gu Qinghan's face turned pale. Half a month later, Gu Qinghan suddenly learned the truth about what had happened years ago. She did not know who had told her. Perhaps it was a former classmate who had witnessed everything in the bathroom. She learned that Hu Wei had slapped me again and cornered and bullied me in the bathroom. She learned that Hu Wei, back in college, had deliberately crafted a sweet, innocent boy-next-door persona. She even learned that my father's car crash back then was caused by Hu Wei running a red light and crashing into him. Hu Wei had been the one responsible. Gu Qinghan came to find me again, deeply agitated. She claimed she had evidence and promised to seek justice for me, but I stayed silent. Gu Qinghan stared at me in disbelief. Li Chuan, are you being stupid? Did you hear what I just said? Hu Wei caused your father's car accident. He was the reason your father became bedridden and comatose. If it were not for Hu Wei, you would not have become a poor student back then, and your life would not have been so miserable. She looked like a messenger of justice, furious that I would not stand up for myself. She wanted to wake me up. She thought that if I accepted her goodwill, I could forgive those unbearable memories, and we could be together again. I closed my eyes in despair. What is past is past. Gu Qinghan, when my father died, you were there. You should know how deeply I hate revisiting those old wounds. I gave a bleak smile. Besides, with you there. Do you think I could touch a hair on Hui's head? I am not that foolish. I know I am too weak to fight those with greater power. I do not intend to confront them head-on. That life in the past was like hell. I have crawled out of hell now, and I have no intention of going back. I only want to let others go, and let myself go as well. But I did not expect that my earlier words would be so deeply etched in Qinghan's heart. Li Chuan, I am sorry. I know what you are thinking. Today, I will show you through my actions that everything you fear is not a problem. I will help you. I will get justice for your father. On the day Qinghan appeared in court as the plaintiff, Ruyan and I boarded a flight overseas. I heard she won the case. She hired the best lawyer in the country and sent Hui to prison. When she walked out of the courthouse, she searched for me everywhere like a madwoman, but she could not find any trace of me. In the end, all alone and desolate, she knelt on Yunzhou Bridge and sobbed her heart out. It even made the news. When Liu Ryan told me about it, I merely shook my head calmly. That was her own choice. Liu Ryan said, "Let us get back to our own plans. Where are we going tomorrow? By the way, do they have hot pot and chicken stew abroad? I have never been abroad before." Liu Ryan smiled and playfully tapped my nose. "You little foodie, if you want it, we will have it." I